Hey guys, it's your boy Pat. Welcome back to the next episode of the Hollow Down Cigar Lounge. Welcome in our homeboy down here from Definition, Jamond. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, fellas? Thanks for having me on.
How you doing,
Absolutely.
Jamond?
How's it going, Chad? Justin?
What's up, fellas?
Well, I'll throw this out right off the bat because slightly different. Those watching coming back, usually, we're doing some sort of review show, and even when we've had other guests on the show, we may be doing a review while they're on the show. We're not doing that today. We're just smoking random stogies today because we wanted to focus on you and Definition and just kind of bring you into the family. There's a few of our Hollow Down fam that do know you and smoke you religiously, and then we have some that probably have never heard of you at all. So figured it was just a good excuse to talk about DC for a straight hour and roll with the punches that way. So
Awesome.
that's what we're gonna do. So we don't care what we're smoking today. That we're just here for enjoyment and some good chit chat.
Right on.
So
Bro hang.
a good bro hang. But before we get into some good talk, Jamon, tell us a little bit. I do this for anybody, kind of an open floor. Where you're from, what you do, kind of what got started, or got what you got. Wow, man, words are hard already. It's gonna be great.
Starting off solid.
My brain's going too fast.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. Tell us what got you started with Definition and kind of where your inspo happened there, and kind of what got you to the game now.
Yeah. Jamond Hackley, originally from Northern Virginia, about 50 miles outside of Washington D.C. is home for me, or where I'm from. Um, and I guess you can consider me like a lot of people. A grandfather, father was a cigar smoker. In my case, it was my grandfather, and um, my grandfather was kind of a old school type of guy. Um, Raised myself and a cousin of mine, and um, uh, guys, for every holiday or birthday party or whatever, my grandfather was smoking a cigar. And back in those days, you smoked in the car with kids, and you smoked in rooms,
Yeah.
the whole nine. So, I have pictures of when I was a child, and he's got a stogie in his mouth, and I think the subconscious is a powerful thing. So I aspired to be like my grandfather. He was the man in my life, So um, that was the first imprint of cigars. So back in those days, it wasn't like it is now. A bunch of lounges right around the corner, that sort of thing. So he would mail order Thompson cigars straight to the house, unbanded back then, and then not dating myself. Back then, you could go what was called Rite Aid, and you could get a
Oh
box of
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Garcia that was
Oh
that
yeah.
was still a good smoke back then. It wasn't just totally crap. There, so man, that was his thing, and when I got older, I wanted to dive into it to kind of experience what my grandfather did, and that was the first step into enjoying a premium cigar, and then you know similar to all you guys there, you get into it, you enjoy it, and now you want to educate yourself more and more and more and more about the tobacco and what you're doing. And then I met some really cool people in my journey and traveling around. Um, for at the time my corporate job, it had me on the road a lot, so I had an opportunity to visit lounges, meet some cool people, and it enabled me the opportunity when it became one with Definition Cigars to be able to tap into some of those relationships and um, start it up or start what I believe to be the vision for the company at that time, and just wanted to create one cigar just for the cigar community, just our take as a company on tobacco. And man, the rest is kind of history, fellas, from there.
I like it. So are you um Where are you at? Where you stay at now? Are you still in that area or?
No. I'm here in Dallas, Texas.
Okay,
So I
that's
live
what I.
in yep.
He's in Texas. He's in my area.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I
and Justin
thought.
are
But
neighbors. You guys are
yeah,
neighbors.
100%.
Yep.
yeah. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping because that's
Don't
what I thought.
Dallas my Fort Worth, but don't Fort Worth is Dallas.
It's Dallas. Yeah.
No,
Right.
Oh,
Eldon's
there's
on. He said, "Woohoo! I made it." And I hope Carol's watching, buddy.
Yeah.
yeah,
What's going on, Eldon and Carol?
man.
Yeah,
Carol,
she loves Definition. She loves all your blends.
she
Yeah.
may be the driving force for me, if not me and Justin, for really getting into Definition. So
Yeah, I saw him a few times at a few humidors here and there, and then Carol just raved about him, and I was like, I guess I got to try these bad boys. And we kept
yeah,
on. We were talking at NFG, talking about the bands, and everyone was
Sure.
trying to like give their notation of it. And then I said they look like garter belts,
Mm-hmm.
that's
and it
what I
kind of
think too.
dawned on everybody, and we were like, oh yeah, that is what it looks like. So it's a
Yeah.
really cool design, and it definitely pops on the shelf.
Yeah.
and while Jay was talking, Nathan and Ray both jumped on, just said good evening. So hello to you gents out there as well. And Ellen says Carol is here, which we're glad because
Yeah.
I'll be straight up frank with you, Jamond, because like anytime you have something in cigar world or technically retail in general, right?
Yeah.
You always have the risk of finding a product that looks better than it is, right?
Sure.
We see it all the time. And before I knew you, before I knew the brand, before I knew Carol, I'd seen the bands and I just thought it was going to be one of those gimmicks, right? Because I knew
100%.
nothing about it, but
Yep.
I loved the look. So I
Yep.
kept like every once in a while I'd look at it, be like, you know what, I wanted to, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. I don't know
And then
about it.
I don't know about it. And then after hearing like I'd had people talk about it, but then at NFG a couple years ago, I got somebody across the table in person that just like won't shut up about it. And I know I had learned what her and Eldon smoke, and I was like, okay, they smoke quality, and she's raving this hard about it. It's like, all right, I got to go down this hole. And I'm glad she was on that rant because
Thank you.
I missed out on
She's a no filter woman, man. She tells it how it is. She'll tell you if your cigar is a turd or not. And she said all your blends are great.
So is that how you guys
Yeah.
got, Pat? Is that how you got introduced to Definition? Was through Carol?
absolutely. Let's do Carol. So
Really?
Jamond
awesome.
was the first time, and I will state I don't know the first time I went to NFG, 3 years ago. I don't know if I said anything to him then because I didn't really know it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it was at that event where Carol was talking to us about it. So the next time NFG came around, I actually talked to the people a little bit more. And I didn't get to at the event, but as soon as we were done, I started messaging him just basic BS info. But yeah, it's all because Carol just talking so hard about it at the event is what got us linked up with it.
Speaking of the event, I shared in the underground group. So if anybody is watching from there, thanks for coming. And are you going to NFG this year?
Yeah.
I was just going to ask that.
It's in the plan for Definition to be there. I'm going to try to make it. I have some other stuff that was booked fourth quarter last year during that time. So we'll see how we can work that out.
There's
Well,
a lot of
hoping
stuff
you're
happening
there
at the same time.
because I'm making a trip from Michigan.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best.
You got to be there.
Raymond said, got to find some in the wilds of Utah.
There
Try. There's a cigar. Go ahead. You probably know.
No, I think it's Cigar Barn. If you go on the website, they're on the locator there, but there's a lounge. Not sure what part of Utah you in, but there's some in the wild out there.
I know there's Honeycomb Cigars. They're partially owned by, or they're owned by the Apostate guys. But I'm sure they
Brandon
carry other.
Kendrick.
Yeah. But I'm sure
Yeah.
they carry other brands, or maybe that's something you can link up with those guys and put your stuff in
They're
the humidor.
great dudes too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, Speaking of NFG, since we're on the ride before we jump off the roller coaster, Elden Run tickets go on sale this noon to Saturday. So if you in Dallas
Yeah.
Fort Worth area or you're nearby or you're flying in like Chad, could have been
Yeah.
that's
I'm excited for when Chad comes down. I'm gonna give him a little hospitality, pick him up from the airport, take him to the hotel, take him to the lounge.
It's funny, Jamond, because me and these two guys have been hanging out for 2 years, but I've never met them in person. So we've been smoking because I live in Michigan.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Justin lives in Texas and Pat lives in Louisiana, and
yeah,
they've met up, but I've never been able to get down there. So
that's cool.
it'll be
That's
I'm excited to come down and actually give my boys a hug.
for
Yeah.
real. You
Oh
know,
yeah, man.
these guys came in a solid time when I started the show. I had several friends here doing it in person,
Yep.
and most of them have moved away for work related reasons. And the one that is still here has he's probably one of the few people in my life that have a more ridiculous work schedule than I do. So it's very difficult. So
He's a
me
doctor,
and
right?
Chad, yeah, he's a trauma surgeon. So I mean,
Yeah.
you know, he's doing the Lord's work, but he's a very busy
100%.
man. So you know, but you know, Chad and Justin kind of came in as a solid, and we started the remote thing, and it's turned out to be good, and it's built our friendship even more. You know, it was a online cigar group friendship start, and here we are. But
That's cool.
you know, it is cool.
Yeah,
When
that's
you
why
meet
I
your
love
people, you meet
cigars.
your
They're
people.
amazing. Yep, they're
Yep.
amazing. Cigars are amazing for that reason right there.
Facts.
100%.
We talk about NFG a lot because, as far as the show's concerned, there's a lot of damn good cigar events out there, and there's other ones that we have gone to and other ones we enjoy. But it's almost kind of like an unofficial homecoming for me and Justin, and sounds like soon Chad, because we have gotten to meet in person, and then there's several reps like you or
Yep.
brand owners like you in this case that we've been able to sneak on the show just because of us meeting them there under the tent. So
Right.
Mhm.
And,
kind of
man,
a good place.
NFG, man, Pat, I've been to a lot of those events, but NFG is like a family reunion for cigars. I mean, it's,
Mhm.
you know, some of those events that you go to, you know, they have frills with them, right? So, you know, it's
Right.
this. Man, NFG, that whole weekend, not just the event, not just what takes place Saturday. You know, they open up the shop on Friday. You know, they have some things before, they hang out afterwards. It's just a whole weekend of camaraderie around cigars, and it's like a family reunion each year that they have it. I'm glad that they didn't cancel it this year. I know there was a little bit of talk of not
They
doing
almost
it.
did.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't, because the cigar community needs that. You know, people fly out from Seattle, Washington, Chad from Michigan. People come from, and
Alaska.
they circle that. They circle NFG, and they're going
Yeah.
to be for that reunion, man.
And it's crazy because I still remember telling Justin the first time that he kind of brought me to NFG is you pull up and it's going to look unassuming. You're going to see a parking lot next to a building with tents. Okay.
And barbed wire.
And barbed wire. But once you get in, you
It's gonna
see
be
everything
intimidating.
everything that's crammed underneath those tents is intense. It's fantastic. So
Yeah, all the blends are great and everything, but like Jamond said, it's
The
the
people.
family reunion. Those, you know, we're kind of newbies in that group, so to speak. We've only been going since NFG 24, but like I've met some amazing guys in there. We met Madison Money from 262 Cigars and Ryan from Ohana.
Yeah.
And then of course Terrence Riley
Terrence.
and Rojas. You know, Noel was there. Quite a few
Greg
people.
Free from Fortaleza.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
how
great time.
Yeah, and it's just like the visuals, man, because you know you see our
Oh,
logo.
Eric Bay. Eric Bay. That's where you met
Eric
Eric
Bay,
Bay.
man,
too.
how am I tripping on Eric? Yeah, we got Eric Bay from Black Star. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
We just
it's
had him
the
on a little bit
family.
ago.
And now the family's grown and now we get to bring Jamond into it. You know, we're just dudes wanting to have a good time and smoke, and now we make new friends. So you know,
Exactly, man. I appreciate you guys.
It's just an excuse to hang out. We just happen to press record.
exactly.
Right. It's usually ends up just like a herf anyway. Like we're just
Oh, yeah.
shooting
Hey,
shit.
that's what
so.
it is, man.
Yeah.
I
Be
would be somewhere
relaxed.
smoking cigars right now anyway.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't do this to make money. Like, we got merch, and we didn't even do merch until I started getting messages asking for shirts and shit. Like,
Yeah.
that don't. Right now, we're not even breaking even on the podcast. We don't care. Like, we do it because we enjoy this shit. You know?
Wait, you guys are getting paid for this?
No, absolutely not.
Not yet, Pat. Not yet.
Not,
Not yet.
not
We're
yet.
gonna
Justin,
see
you
this.
you didn't get your contract? I got a contract this
Well, I
year.
guess
Shut
I
up,
didn't get
Chad.
that memo.
Chad, he
So
don't write a contract yet. Don't let him know.
it's for $1.
It's an NDA, I bet.
Yeah.
But what is it, like one of those the NBA hardship contracts?
100%.
Oh man.
Like a bad record deal. You're a slave to the podcast for your life.
That's right.
Exactly. I own
my
you.
my contract was Pat sent me some cigars to test run on the show. That's what I get out of it.
That's pretty. That is true. So, Chad likes to say that he's got a freaking suitcase of cigars because
It's insane.
Chad, Chad's there's not really a main, but we call Chad the main, and it's just because his schedule is the most cohesive. So I got cigars that me and him got. I've got cigars that me, him, and Justin got. Some that me, him, and Ryan have. But like, I've got these other guys that rotate through, but they have the stuff where they can come on, and Chad's got the stuff when everybody comes on. So he's got like this.
Yeah.
We've got humidors dedicated to the show. Some are bigger than others.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Pat's a compulsive planner, so he has 3 years worth of show cigars in all of our hands that we're probably gonna smoke half of them.
Yeah.
That's
Because we're gonna
actually
end up
pretty
smoking
accurate.
something else. Like in between, there'll be something new that comes up, and this gets bumped and bumped. What happened to Justin?
That's cool.
Speaking of bump, we lost Justin. Ain't no telling.
Hey, Gil Reed, my man Gil. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Gil? He's our buddy down in NOLA area. Good dude as well. So he was talking about even trying to make NFG this year. We'll see if that holds through.
Yeah,
for
he
his
and I
idea.
were chatting, and he was asking me the other day about what was that event you wanted to go to. So I think that I'll talk to him after the show tonight and let him know the tickets are going on sale Saturday, and we'll get tickets. I think he'll go.
Yeah, I'm technically on shift that weekend, but I'm making some moves happen so I can at least get over there the day of, at the very least. So luckily it's decent enough in driving distance. I can do some shifts and get over there. But yeah, let's I don't want we've blown the hell up about NFG, in which we do it quite often. We could probably rebrand our show, in Friends of NFG or some shit. But
Right.
So there's a question that the guys usually like to ask. Jamal, what was irrelevant of definition? Just you as an individual, what was your first cigar ever that made you fall in love with smoking?
First cigar that made me fall in love with this was Tatuaje Havana 6 Bellicoso. It first released some years ago. I'm dating myself again. I ran into that cigar and became a fan of the brand, and started smoking the other stuff that Pete was making. But that was the cigar that kind of really lit the fire underneath of me and made me, dive, both feet in to it and how does this cigar have this type of impact, on me and dove into the blend and that sort of thing. But that was it for me.
Hell yeah.
So that was the first cigar you fell in love with. What was your first premium cigar?
Oh, question.
My first premium cigar was at the tender age of about 8 or 9 years old. Snuck in my grandfather's humidor. My grandfather was a truck driver, so he was away. I just had to try it. I was that kid though. I was a little badass if you didn't watch me.
Yep.
So I running into that humidor. Fellas didn't have a cutter at all. Stole a book of matches, so I took one of my grandmother's steak knife out of the drawer, run down into the backyard, and murdered the cigar, I'd imagine, and
Cut it in half.
Cut it all the way down to the
right,
band.
used the whole book of matches to get the damn thing lit because I didn't know what I was doing, and took the biggest drag a 9-year-old probably could, but didn't push it back out. I went ahead and ingested everything.
You inhaled. Yeah.
And man, I tried to get myself together, eyes watering, coughing, and then I start feeling like a bag of turds. So I
Nicotine,
had to go back to the house, and my grandma, what did you do? What's wrong with you? Why are you so sick? And I had to tell on myself, and she's doctored me up, trying to settle my stomach, old school soda water and shit like that. I remember, but I was absolutely sick to my stomach. So, my grandfather, in good sport, wasn't too pissed off. He found it to be funny. But yeah, Chad, that was the first swing at the old premium stuff there. And this was one of those dark Maduros, unbanded from Thompson's. Lord knows what it was, but it came and it did what it was supposed to do to me.
If you're gonna dive in the deep end, you didn't hesitate. That's for sure.
It probably kept you from smoking for a good 10 years, huh?
Yeah. Without question. I didn't want to have anything to do with a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, that's similar to Henderson Ventura learning his cigars. Even though he grew up in it, he still acquired a couple cigars from his grandmother. So,
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to find a way.
Took him right off the rolling table.
Right. But I like that question. I don't remember which one of these two gentlemen started the trend of us asking that question, but I like it because my intro into cigars is boring. And I won't repeat the whole story, but like my first one was an acid because it's all I had access to. My first premium, I think, was a Padron, but I didn't know shit. So like it's a vague memory.
Sure.
And that's about all I can tell you is that I went from something that really didn't do anything, and it took me several years to kind of actually start learning some stuff. So it's interesting to hear the differences in how different people start, and your journey starts different. And
right.
some people hate that word. We still like it because it legit's a journey. I don't care if it's cliche or not, because you even in your own growth you change and mold. So
100%. I'll probably use it during the show. I don't know why anyone would not like that word. It's true to form.
It is
inside of this.
Right. And what's interesting is whether we realize the difference, you may or may not be able to realize it, but your personal start has major influence in what happens as a brand and what you end up liking.
Totally.
Which is where your personality comes out in your product. So
totally.
So how long has Definition Cigars been in business, Jamond? How many years have you guys?
Officially launched January of 2019. We'll celebrate 7 years in business on the 19th of January. So just short of a week, we'll celebrate
coming up on 7 years. That's
being able to do this. I formed the company in 2018. The first part of the second quarter, Chad, 2018, March, April, somewhere around there, formed it, and we took that entire year to develop the very first cigar that we launched in January of 2019.
Okay. Now, do you guys go to PCA?
Yeah, PCA, 4 years now. So, PCA is fun. It is what it is. But yeah.
Where was your booth this year?
My booth was right next to Aganorsa. this
Oh,
year.
really? I walked
Yeah.
right by you, Jamond, and never knew it.
Yep.
What
But
a
you know how
dick.
big it is in there. It's no, I don't. I mean,
100%.
Jamond will tell you, like, it's overwhelming in there.
It
Like, you're
is. It
walking
is.
and it's like, ooh, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Like, you can't
100%.
keep your head screwed on straight.
And it's
It's crazy.
everybody's there. Everybody's
Oh
there.
my gosh,
Everybody's
it's
there.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Yeah.
know, and pardon me, but I didn't know anything about Definition at that point, or I would have stopped in. But
Yeah.
I was working one day, and then the other 2 days I was just running around trying to see what I could see, and I was with a
Yeah.
group of people. So,
Yeah.
but
It's
if
an
I get it
experience.
there this year, I definitely am going to find you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're trying to get back there. Well, Chad's trying to get back. I'm trying to go for the first time because it's actually on a weekend I can attend. I'm just trying to get
Ooh.
stuff together. Hey,
Yeah.
here's a before we pull off. This is a good question. Nathan jumped in and said, "What was your inspiration for the first cigar you created?"
Yeah. So great question. The why behind Definition Cigars started by someone being an asshole. Myself and some
Well,
friends, we were at I won't name the cigar brand. It was a cigar event, a cut and light. Um, we love the brand. We went there. You know, depending on your purchase, it depends on how many raffle tickets you may get, that sort of thing. So you know, we're all invested. We're smoking. We're there. We got our favorite
Yep.
spirit, and it comes time towards the end when the raffles were supposed to be called out or announced, and the rep for this company, man, kept on stalling it out. You know, he had some buddies there or whatever, and so the event was supposed to end at 9. It was around 9:30, 9:45, and we wanted to go to the next venue to enjoy the rest of our night. And so we made a decision. We rolled out. It was a situation, got to be here to win, sort of thing. So it was like, screw it. Unbeknownst to the rep is that one of the guys that were sitting around us, you know how the cigar community is. I may be in a lounge, I may see Pat over there. We may just said what's up, and we're not kicking it with each other because he's with his group and but he still is my buddy. He still is
yeah,
my buddy.
yep.
So we leave. We get down the road. It was about 7 or 8 of us. We get down the road, and our buddy called and said, "Man, you want to know what? This damn guy waited until you guys left. You 8 guys, so it's probably you say, you know, it's buy 4 get 1, buy such and such get 3. So I'd say between the 8 of us, we probably had about 24, 26 tickets. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we leave, and he tells us that. So the next day in the cigar lounge, a bunch of guys are throwing shit against the wall. Man, you know that's effed up, and you know we should do it. We should do it. So shit. One thing led to another. Conversations happen. Pick up a phone and call a buddy and say, "Is this possible?" And you know, went through that whole process of getting my permission slip signed to get into Nika, and the rest was history. So the inspiration was for us is how dare someone, you know, rob us of that opportunity to support their brand and be a part of everything that brand was to us, and you know, rob us of that. So we went to work and wanted to just create one cigar to kind of say, you want to know what, man, we as a collective group, we you know, we think we can make a Vitola. And that was the start for it. That was the start for it. Henceforth, the name Definition Cigars is based on us wanting the customer, no matter if it's a Definition cigar, no matter if it's a unbanded, no matter if it's your whoever. But while you're doing it, make sure you define who you are and smoking, not doing what Chad does or Justin does or anyone else does. You fully embrace what it means to smoke a premium cigar and all that goes into it, and define yourself inside of the cigar culture and how important and how blessed we are to have the opportunity to smoke these cigars and take advantage of that. So all of that started with an act of
Right.
unkindness.
Being mistreated. Yep.
Yep.
And
So
that's
how
a
many
very good.
blends does Definition have now?
Excuse me, 12 signature blends now, Chad.
12.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Wow. I'm gonna have to do a little research on your brand, Jamon. I apologize
Yeah.
because
Yeah. No,
it's
don't
very new to
apologize.
me. And I was upset because I have one of your cigars, but Pat told me we weren't allowed to smoke it today, so we have to do it a
And,
different day.
and
Yeah.
in fairness to Pat, I had asked Pat, and Pat, hope you don't mind me
Hmm.
saying this. You're the
Nope,
one that
nope,
fell
not at all.
and said we're going to do something, but I'm an accountable dude. I want you guys to review it, and good, bad, or different. I didn't want any sort of presence of myself, to say, okay, I taste this, but why? And then, we kind of go down that rabbit hole. I wanted you guys to do what you normally do, review the cigar without any
Yeah.
type of energy. I find that to be especially to you guys' viewership. If you guys do love the cigar, cool. But I want them to understand and know that this is going to be a review that's up and up, not with any
It's
influence at
honest, yeah.
Mhm.
And not
Yeah.
sometimes when someone's on the show, it does you want to give them a good look, so or you feel like you should, so I get your point there for
Nobody
sure.
wants to kill anybody, right? Like you don't
Yeah.
you
I don't
don't
want
want
to
to
bring you on
impact
the
my
show and it's
livelihood.
this
You know what
cigar
I'm
is
saying?
horrible. I don't want to
Yeah,
do
you,
that.
you
Yeah.
don't want to impact my livelihood. I got to believe most people, unless you're just a complete degenerate asshole, nobody wants to impact somebody's livelihood. But at the
Right,
same
right.
time, this is a part of it, right? This is a part of the community, the culture. So these things need to happen. And hate to go down that rabbit hole, but in standing
It's legit
in
though.
line for Pat, I wanted to say that on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a
Yeah,
saying on the show, or I do at least, that somebody's eating off that plate. That's
Yeah.
my motto. And so we don't, we never take it to heart. We don't try to, we never trash a brand. Now, we might just
sure.
not say good things about it, but
Right.
we'll leave it
Right.
at that, right? Like, that's not for me
100%.
or
Yeah,
Yep.
whatever.
And
But
exactly.
even
somebody's
when we
eating
don't
off
like
that
it,
plate and
we
somebody
say it
else
could
might
be a
like it.
one-off.
Exactly.
Right.
And there's before I get in these next couple questions over here, there's a really good example that me and Chad have of why we don't do that. Early on in the show, long before I'd met Chad and Justin, when I'm doing stuff with my homies, there's a cigar that I smoked with a couple guys that the construction was fantastic, and that was the only positive thing I could say about it. We kept referencing that it tasted more like a grave than it did a cigar,
Sure.
right? It just had no flavor. We dogged it as much as we could, but like it off air, we said so much more, right?
Sure.
Well, fast forward about 2 years down the line, Chad smoked some of those cigars on his own, and he's confused about our review because he's like, "Man, I actually enjoyed this cigar."
Enjoy it. Yeah.
So, what may suck to me, you may think is a killer. So, I don't want to
Sure.
completely trash something. And at the end of the day, even the cigars that people think are dog turds, somebody is enjoying them enough, or they would
100%.
stop making that cigar.
There it is.
Right.
And excuse me. And you don't know at the time that you have it. Believe it or not, this shit does happen. The cigar may have been young. Some company may have been trying to meet a production schedule and a retail
Yeah.
Absolutely.
schedule. And when Chad got it a couple years from now it's got its proper rest. It's done
Yep.
what it's supposed to do, and now the flavor has shown up in it. So yeah,
Aged out. Yeah.
And off
Great
the
point.
show, we have this isn't a show thing, just within us. Where we've used Raymond Pages as an example. A young blender, and he's got some avenues, and he pushes his product. In my opinion, he puts it out to the market way too quick, so you can get one and it'll taste absolute trash. Hold on to it for 8-9 months, and it's a completely different cigar. So it's given us a good example of that benchmark you've just stated.
100%, man.
But I'll pull back to these questions because Gil asked, and I know my answer, so I won't say it till last. But in y'all's opinion, if I was going to smoke my first DC, which one would you suggest? These are always tough questions, but I like it. So I
Let me
I know,
preface this with this because Gil's a good friend of mine and I know exactly what he smokes.
right.
So Gil smokes a lot of Fuente. So he's a medium body smoker. So what
Mhm.
would you suggest in the medium body lane?
Mm,
For my line, if I was to, I had one shot with them. For me, it would be the Anillo. That cigar embodies the profile and what you talked about for me and for the direction of why we put that out to market, Chad. But that would be it. If that was the introduction for him, that's what I would suggest.
Aniho is what it's called.
Anillo, Anillo.
Oh, okay. Got it.
You've heard people pronounce it wrong, the Anillo, but it's just because, Americans can't pronounce nothing. So
I would say also the Gen 413 Natural that me and Pat reviewed that you saw, Jamond. That's all full cedar, medium, not too heavy.
Yeah, so I do like the Anillo myself. It's probably the best one I've smoked, and unless I am forgetting one, I think I've smoked all of them except for that special release, the Conception, and just your Connecticut, because I'd rarely go into Connecticut world. I do, but it's rare.
I do.
You do a lot, and I've heard good things about it. So you might like it too, but I also like the Pig Perfecto. It's different. Something about the shape and the draw helps those flavors come out too. But
absolutely,
I'd probably land there as well.
And, yeah, that is one of those cigars that size matters, Pat. In that for that particular blend and that Vitolas, that size and shape, and going through the process, it wasn't originally in that size and shape at inception, but we came to that by the grace of the cigar gods.
So in that blend, it's the only size, the only Vitola that comes in is a pig.
Yes, sir.
Format?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Isn't it an orange band?
It's like yellowish, goldish kind of, isn't it?
It's orange.
Okay, so that's what I thought. Because that's the very first time I saw your cigars, and I think it was what you're gonna know as soon as I say it, Jamond. It's the Cigar Lounge. It's either an Addison or McKinney. They've got a grill and a humidor, like a place where you can sit down and eat at the same time. It's kind of like
you talking about Michael's?
No, it's like industrial or
industrial is in
Frisco.
You can eat there. You can eat there at the same time, and there's a humidor. I can't remember, but anyways,
probably Frisco because they have their actual cafe and stuff there. So
yeah, I couldn't remember. But that's where I first saw your pigtail and that orange band. I was like, man, that thing looks good. But at the time, I didn't have the budget for it, and I was looking for something else, so I moved on. But it's definitely on my list to try because I've only had the Anillo and the Gen 413, and that's it so far.
Chad, there's one that you might like of his too. I just had to look because I couldn't remember the color, but it's more of a green that's a Cameroon. You might be down your alley too.
I love Cameroon. Yep, I'll try that then too, for sure. Did you say there was another question?
Yeah, so this one is, I was about to ask this myself, and then I figured I would wait because we were curious about this off the show, is who had the idea for the bands? That is question, definitely Nathan. Not a normal presentation. So
100%. So you invest all this money to make a cigar, right? And you're the small guy. In our case, we wasn't even the small guy. We was the
microscopic guy.
Yeah, asking to come in and take a peek at what's going on behind the veil. So the thought was, when you go into a cigar lounge and you walk into the humidor, the most common thing about every cigar there is that it kind of looks the same. Different variations of color schemes, and some brands stand out because of how they do their band. But every cigar, for the most part, has a paper band wrapped around it, footers, whatever. So the thought was, to Pat's original point, we worked in reverse of that thought. We came from a standpoint of a person eats with their eyes before they ever eat with their
100%.
stomach. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
the food. That steak looks good, man. I think I'm gonna try that. Right. So we leaned against the thought of, because it was something new, because it was different, that we would get the person that's in the humidor to maybe just give us a try, and if they did, hopefully the work that we put into that cigar would stand out, and that they would enjoy this cigar, and hopefully make it a part of their rotation, or tell somebody about it who will tell somebody else. And that's kind of what happened. That's kind of what happened, fellas.
And there's one point that you said that appreciate. We had one of our tobacconist friends, Gordon, come on the show not too long ago. Real good friend of Justin's and become a friend of ours. But he referenced the fact that, especially for somebody, whether you're a new smoker, you don't know what to smoke, or even for guys like me and Chad that have been smoking for a long time that want to smoke something different, and you don't know what you want, your eyes will catch something. So sometimes you do gravitate to something, smoke something just because of the way it looks before you go to anything else. So that's a kind of a good process, and it works because we talk about the appearance of it all the time before we ever get to talking about the cigars. I mean, it just looks cool as shit. It just, there's no sugarcoating that. It's just badass the way it looks.
It pops on the shelf.
And one of the, I guess one of the challenges was, especially for a seasoned cigar smoker or more experienced, being the small guy, that, and I had these conversations in lounges with people, is that they sometimes didn't try it. Cigar looked great, all these things, love the presentation, but because we were this small brand from Dallas, an experienced cigar didn't want to enjoy the cigar. And because you're this small brand, and we all know the horror stories, I don't want to like it, and then I can't get it.
Yeah.
So
distribution.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna keep my eyes on you guys. I'm gonna keep my eyes on you guys, and I'm gonna see if you kind of land. And for some, that's what it was. And we got those customers as well to kind of see. So there's a lot that just went into it. The bands were cool, but there was a lot of experienced smokers who waited on the sideline first to see if we would be around, so that they could get them if they enjoyed them. That was a real thing.
I mean, I get it. And and Chad, I'll throw this at her. Nathan threw at the Noir is Cameroon. So you're looking at which one?
Connecticut. There's the Cameroon.
Yep. So the Dogfather Barbecue jumps in here, and I don't know if any one of us actually knows, since it's just showing his name. Somebody we know, somebody we don't. But he said, "What's up, fellas? New to cigar smoking, loving all the new to me info. Put me on game." And that's why we love doing this.
What's
shit.
up, brother?
Yeah. Nice. Welcome.
Salute,
welcome, man.
I wish I had your palate every day of my life.
a new palate. Yeah,
man.
This is why we like to do this stuff, because we were all new smokers at one point. Our starts are all different, but your palate changes, your growth changes, your preferences change.
Exactly.
You may not like a cigar this year, but next year all you can smoke is the Connecticut that you absolutely hated last year.
100%.
So it's
the longer I smoke, I find my preferences change per season. Like I'll go through stints where I smoke heavy Connecticut's for 3 months, and then all I want is just strong bangers for 3 months.
Yeah.
Like
I'm going through that right now, Chad. I mean, I've only been smoking. It'll be actually 3 years at the end of this month, and I'm starting to get the lighter shades. Looking for Connecticut.
You go through trends where you're just you I don't want to say lust after, but I literally lay in bed going, "What's the first cigar I'm going to smoke? It's going to be and it's a Connecticut or whatever." And but it changes for me depending on the time of year. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
it does.
Well, you know me, I usually like, as my phrase, I like a Van Dam to my face, just
Yeah.
all power,
We all
all
know
pepper,
that.
all strength. And then it seems to be towards the winter months, I want that more subtle Connecticut medium body cigar,
That's when I crave
Mhm.
them too. Is starting around the fall time. I start smoking a lot of Connecticut Cameroon
Makes sense.
for sure.
It's crazy what our brains do. When you don't know what you want, 'cause it's kind of like, and this isn't a creative thought for myself whatsoever, but it's kind of like food. Your preferences change. What you want to eat today changes. Today I want Mexican. Tomorrow I want pizza. And
Yeah.
then I may eat so much, Italian food this year that I'm not touching it at all next year.
Yeah.
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 Your whole palate and desires change, and it's the same thing.
So
100%.
Ain't no
Jamon,
different.
in terms of like your tobaccos that you use, and then I was going to ask also, like, now where are you having your cigars rolled? Is it Nicaragua?
Yep. In Esteli,
Okay.
Nicaragua is the home base.
Most of your blends are Nicaraguan then?
Yep. All of them are foundationally Nicaraguan. Chad used various rappers in the 7 years, Sumatra, San Andreas, Ecuadorian rappers of all the spectrum. Um, you know, rappers from Nika have a couple puros. So yeah, we've really had a lot of fun with the
I
ability
would
to
say if you have
create.
12 blends, you must be covering the gamut of every wrapper, binder, filler combination you can come up with
We
12.
have some
That's a
stuff with
ton.
Hondurans in it, and yeah, we got really cool experiences.
With Chad, when you come out to Dallas or Fort Worth, technically, you can stock up at Underground.
There you go.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
I'm hoping Jamon's going to be at NFG and we can hook up there.
I'm
So,
gonna try to figure that out.
yeah, if not, maybe I'll run into you at PCA.
Hmm,
Yeah, we're both trying to get there this year, so
definitely be there.
Or if he's up in Michigan for an event or something.
Yeah. How much footprint do you have in my part of the country? You have some brick and
Michigan,
mortars up here?
yeah, a couple in the Detroit area, Lansing, have a really great partner
That's close to
there.
me. That's 30 minutes from me, Jamon.
There you go.
Yeah, it's oh my goodness, man! If they're looking at this, they would kill me. Man, it all runs together. It is
Yeah, they can't get too mad. You got hundreds of distributors, right?
Yeah.
oh
So,
man, it's a bistro. My goodness, man. Chad, I'll
oh, I
think of
think I know the
one.
one you're talking about. My buddy keeps trying to get me to go there. It's a really nice place, and they serve
It is
food
beautiful.
and they have
Yes,
cigars.
yes,
My
yes.
buddy Joe
Beautiful.
Conley, I don't know if he's watching, but he's one of my cigar buddies, and he was trying to get me to go up there with him, and I haven't gone yet. But now maybe we make that trip.
Yeah. Beautiful lounge, Chad. I would say check it out. Really beautiful lounge.
Yep, I for sure will then.
So a piggyback question: you said that your cigars are in Esteli. Are they all
Yeah.
at one factory, or do you have multiples that you
Well,
utilize?
we use multiple factories there. I
Okay.
use three that I work with there. Um, R&R, by way of Luciano Cigars, it's a factory partner. Tabacalera de Fabrica, which is a smaller subsidiary of a um, bigger manufacturer in Nicaragua, in Jalapa. And then I use Tabacalera de Hernandez. That's right off the Pan American. For those of you who had visited Nicaragua, it's if a major factory, if I could name, it's probably 2 miles from AJ's.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, our new friend the dog says, you guys mentioned Texas. I'm in the Austin area and have been checking out the Havana House in Round Rock, trying to find my palate. Uh, Specific suggestions for mediums.
Chad.
I don't know the mediums as well, so Well, shit, I'll ask Jamond directly. Out of your blends, on the ones that are medium and don't kind of start getting medium full, which ones did you point to first?
Yeah, I would say the Cameroon, the Noir Cameroon is a true medium. The 919 Habano is a true medium.
I like
I
that.
find the Gin 413 to be medium. It does have some complexity
Yep, I
to
agree
it,
with
but
that.
I would say more so from a brand perspective, my man, I think that this is through your cigar journey, and I hope you are in it as long as we are. For right now, I think you really um, exit from the thought of brands. Go to your favorite cigar shop and say, "Hey, can you point me to some medium body blends?" And just start there, and just go on down the line. Go on down the
Yeah.
line, and maybe you'll run into a Definition cigar. Maybe not. But
Let your palate find itself.
yeah. When we talk about specifics and that sort of thing, um, I always encourage people to just smoke. Don't get caught up in what the cigar
Yeah.
says or how it looks. Just smoke right now, especially at this part of your Pat your journey.
Hmm.
In beautiful industry here. Just smoke. Don't pay attention if this looks pretty. If this looks this way, just give it a try. You never
And don't
know.
listen to the noise either.
Don't listen to
Yeah.
the
Just smoke.
don't listen to yeah, because inside of that, right? I believe, Chad, that there's an education that takes place because for so many of us, we've probably been around someone, could have been a friend who says, "Hey, start with this brand," right? And you do, and you kind of whittle your way around. But if you're smoking just to smoke, now you're able to educate yourself. Okay, why does this taste
Yep.
like this? Oh, this has this particular leaf in it. So you bookmark that, right? I
Yeah.
like that. I like that specific type of wrapper. So when you're just smoking, it gives you a chance to maybe know the brand, but also it kind of forces you to educate yourself on the tobaccos that make up that cigar. So man, hey, I like this cigar, this particular portion of the cigar from Definition. Hey, I see Perdomo, man, they use some of that same type of material. Let me give that a try. You know what I mean? And now
Yeah.
you find yourself, man, I'm being educated. You know?
Yeah.
I got a
So
So
with
guy that
that,
I work with that correlates the nerdiness, as I like to say, about how we dive into cigars and what's in them and what builds them
yeah,
to a custom car guy, right? You know, you may want your car to look a certain way, drive a certain way, but if you're really into it and you enjoy it and you want to make it better for yourself, you're going to start paying attention to like what brands, what
yep,
durability, so cigars, it's the same way. You get into something and you realize, like looking at your buddy's car, man, I really like that. What you got on there? Well,
yep.
you smoke a cigar, man, I really like this. What's in that cigar? So then you can start branching out, not necessarily. And then there's some rock solid brands out there, but I like your point. Just
who was it that we just had on the show that was telling us that basically the boutique cigar, trend has basically before
that was
boutique
Hendo.
cigars, was it Henderson?
It
Because
was
basically
Henderson,
they've educated their consumers. Prior to that, nobody ever listed what was in their
right?
cigars, what the wrappers, binders, fillers were. Everything was undisclosed.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
I think that he had a really good point in that, and that's kind of what Jamon's saying. Like when you smoke a cigar, learn what's in it.
Right.
What wrapper is this? What binder is this? What filler is
right.
this? And then I don't like that or I do like that. And
Yeah,
then
And
write
Chad,
try
everything
something
down in the
else.
beginning.
we
Yeah.
so I'm not a fan of you. You won't go on our website and you won't find notes of honey or brisket or that sort of thing,
Brisket.
because
True Texas man right
the
there.
consumer, the customer gets this cigar and says, "Man, I saw this on the Definition website." He and his wife just went and had Mexican food, and he goes and picks one of my cigars up, and he's expecting to taste brisket. Well, you just had steak enchiladas with hot salsa on it. You're not going to get that. So what we do, we and being a company called Definition Cigars, asking the customer to define the experience, what we give you is wrapper, binder, and filler. We give you
Right.
during this, Nicaragua, Honduras, whatever. We give you the parts of the cigar, wrapper, binder, and filler, and hopefully you can take that away. So maybe it's a good thing when you're sitting in a bad thing, right? And what I mean is, you may smoke a Definition cigar, may not be for you, but you know what components are in that cigar, so you can educate yourself to say, man, I tried this and it was kind of this way. So just trying to do our part from that standpoint.
And there's a there's a trend that you're continuing without realizing it, but when we had Ronnie from Secreto, come on, Secreto Cigar Bar up near Chad, he had a phrase that we absolutely loved, and it said, he said, read less, smoke more. You know, you can read all you want, but your palate may be different. And he also referenced what you stated of what you just ate carries with you for quite some time, and it's going to influence what you smoke. So, you know, everybody's got a different rule. I like the rule of 3. If you smoke a cigar and you don't like it, and it was constructed well, now if you have one that's just constructed horribly, that's different. But if it looks like it could be a decent cigar, try it again or two, because your palate that day may not have been correlating with what was in that cigar. Try it again. If you still don't like it, move on in life.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that from Ronnie until he said it. That was very good information.
Yeah, it's and not to skip, but I'm throwing up comments here, but our boy Ryan, who's usually on the show sometimes with us, said, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Ryan? We're missing
Dr.
you."
Pallet, what's up, Dr. Pallet?
Yeah, he's the fourth.
He's the fourth, and he probably has the I'm gonna say the most specific palate out of the 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we might get in a realm of like a spice and can't put our finger on it, and he can kind of pull it out because his palate's just a little different.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
Which is fun when we get him on because thoughts are different.
Definitely.
Yeah, Ryan's comment right there is great too, because we learned, you know, when we were talking to Henderson, he brought up a great point. Ryan's comment says, yes, the regions make a difference. So when Pat smokes a cigar in Louisiana and I smoke one in Michigan, the humidity in that cigar is completely different, and it's going to taste completely different. And that's something that Pat and I sat here on the screen and smoked 50 cigars together, and we've never thought about that. Like, I'm tasting one thing and he's like, I don't taste that. And I'm like, well, light bulb, you know, that might be why. You know, it's a big region change and humidity change in the cigar. So it's going to taste a lot different.
From Michigan to Louisiana. Huge.
Right.
They said it's good to see what others pull out in a cigar, see if you can capture that flavor or if it's different, because each palate is unique. It's very true.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
go ahead.
No, I'm about to change subject. Kick it, Justin.
Okay, I was going to say, as a newer cigar smoker, almost 3 years into it, I was like, what do I like? I like chocolate, like everybody else does. You know, I like cinnamon and nutmeg and stuff like that from pies and stuff. And I was like, well, let me go towards that and see if that kind of ignites my love of cigars. And the first one I had was the Oliva Serie V, and that just sparked my love for the cigar industry. And I'm pretty sure, actually, now that I think about it, I think it was a Maduro, because it was on the darker side. And as soon as I lit that up, I tasted chocolate without it being infused or flavored. I didn't go down that route in the beginning. I just went with premium cigars. So that's a tip from me, you know, being a newer cigar smoker. Do you like chocolate? Do you like cinnamon? You know, do you like those things? Try going that route, and then maybe go to the lighter side, or start with the lighter side, then go to the darker side. Like everyone said, everybody's cigar journey is different.
If Anakin Skywalker can change sides, you can too.
That's right.
Hey, man, you can go both ways. That's what I do. So, wait, in the cigars.
Pause.
Yeah, pause.
Whatever you say, Chad. But here's a really good question. Nathan is killing it with these questions today. Out of everything that you do, Jamond, what is your favorite tobacco to work with, or do you have a favorite that you like to work with?
Nathan, we're going to have to write down these questions, because these are good questions.
The tobacco that I find the most fun in working with when it comes to blending and the versatility of it is Condega.
Okay.
Is it just that, or do you have like any flavor preferences that you pull that different, or is it just because it's easier to work with, or
Yeah,
is it
no,
just simply a preference? That simple.
no. And you're right, Pat, where you was going. The first round of your questioning. Oh, it's yes, it does have a particular flavor, from all the way from the Viso to the Lajero, but in using Condega in the way that we use it, our company is a flavored forward company first, and then we build to strength. We don't start at looking to be strong. We want to start with flavor. And when you speak of Condega tobacco, it enables us through my process and how I go about creating cigars. It gives it. I'm able to use it in that way, particularly to garner what I'm looking for in the blends.
Is it more versatile than some of the others? Is that
I
maybe?
mean, not so much. It's all about use. To be honest with you, Chad, because you can, and I get too nerdy. You can
Oh, get nerdy.
replicate. You can
Oh,
I was
we
about to
love
replicate.
say we
cigar
like the
around
nerdy
here.
shit.
Okay, you can replicate taste, depending on the leaf, right? So you may do two full leaves of a leaf from this region to replicate what one single leaf from another region may do when you're blending
Okay.
a so depending on what the project is, what the story is, what the concept that we're going for, we let the tobacco kind of lead and guide us to reach what we're trying to accomplish with the particular blend and taste profile of it.
And I like that.
That's
It's
great.
almost like what Sonic does with the fruit flavors. You can mix whatever the hell you want and make it taste like something else.
Hell yeah, love Sonic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But,
I'm not sure that was the
it
comparison
wasn't.
Jamond was looking for, but
It's
he'll
It's a good
take it.
analogy though.
It's a really shitty analogy, but there's a lot of Sonic
Yeah.
lovers out there, so
Oh, that's awesome. Look what the dog father said.
Yeah, so got to get going for now. Just subbed you guys. Looking forward to learning more from you as we go. Later, my guys. Yeah, we love
Awesome.
it.
Appreciate the follow,
Take it
man.
easy, man.
And as my very first co-host always said, is whether you like it or not, we'll still be here. So we'll come
So,
around.
Dogfather, I'll give you my favorite medium body cigar is Don Carlos by Arturo Fuente. It's the most consistent medium body cigar that I've ever smoked. So,
And if I'm a surprise face,
Yeah.
You can get shivers.
so maybe give one of those a try, and then
yeah,
definitely give Jamond's Anillo
What's
a
your
try
favorite
too.
size in that, Chad? Just so he knows.
Changes every week, but a good place to start, I would think, is probably just the Robusto or double Robusto.
Okay, there we go.
For me, it changes on what I'm doing.
it's
I
fair.
have, well, not to get too far into it, but I have every size in my humidor. So
Yeah, I can imagine.
just changes on what I'm doing. So
That was the subtlest flex of Don Carlos inventory I've ever heard.
Right.
He's like, I've got every size.
I won't get into it, but I've
Who
got kind
doesn't?
of everything.
Who doesn't? Well, that's my thing. But,
He is the Fuente freak.
He is a friend. Everybody's got a jam, It just is what it is. So, Jamond, I said this, but I was purposely going to give you this. So, when me and Justin smoked the Gen 413, and I know you commented on this, but I love shit like this. So, in that show, if y'all haven't watched it, go back a few episodes and find where me and Justin smoked the Gen 413. It's literally one that I picked up at CI on a whim and said, hey, we want to do this. There was no other story. So we didn't know anything about the branding. We had a couple ideas, a partial understanding, and then some assumptions that I have an overlay in that video to correct myself after I talked to Jamond. But and I'm gonna overlay when we re-edit this. I'm gonna overlay an image of this band real quick right now. But tell us, Jamond, your basis for the Gen 413, because I absolutely love that, and I want to give you that moment to explain it.
Yeah, thank you, Pat. The Genesis, the Gen 413, in some places, everyone, you may hear somebody reference it as the Genesis. But the Genesis started on November 10th, 2022. I lost my mom to cancer on that day, and in going through that process, for those of you who have lost a loved one, you kind of know what that's like. So for
Absolutely.
me, cigars have always been my safe haven, whether good, bad, or ugly. Cigars have been a form of celebration for me, whether I get in the car to go to the warehouse in the morning or I'm going to lunch. Having the opportunity to smoke a cigar is truly a celebratory moment for me. So um, in this case, it became therapy. So created this cigar with Luciano Morales there in Esteli, and the whole cigar's premise was to create something by way of tobacco that would um, announce who my mom was. I could share those thoughts and memories with the community that I love so much, which is the cigar community, and in sharing that. Um, Hopefully that there was therapy in that for myself. So we created the cigar, go through that process of blending it to meet who she was to me, and we came across the time to uh, talk about packaging. So as Pat will share with you guys, her favorite color was purple, and she loved gold accents with purple. So the foundational color of the band is purple, and it has yellow accents to it. The word Gin 413 is in white lettering, so it'll pop out to you. But my mother was a faithful and devout Christian, and you know, not getting too religious for anyone, but um, I was raised in a Christian household, and for me, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. So that's important for our family, and
Me too, brother.
Amen, brother.
to accent that for her, which is what I know she would want me to share with people. Between the G and the E that's connected, we made a gold cross um, to put the two letters together. And as I said, Pat will show you so you can really get it. But that was the whole kit and caboodle around that cigar coming to be.
I
It's
uh
basically
I,
a
I
homage to your mother. Yeah, that's
Yes,
amazing.
yes.
I
Absolutely.
remember us smoking that in the review, and I found that while we were doing the review, and I was like, wait a minute, I was like, Pat, look at the band. There's a small little gold cross in the center because we were wondering if it had to do with anything with Genesis, being in the scripture and everything. And I pointed that out to Pat, and I was like, oh yeah, it's got to be because there's a gold cross in the center. So that's a really cool story and homage to your mother. That's awesome, man. I understand that loss. I lost my father, and every time it's his birthday or Father's Day, I always make sure I smoke my father's cigar. He never
Yeah.
smoked cigars, never did anything like that, but I smoke cigars, so I'm gonna remember him. Like you said, it's
Yep.
a therapy.
I'm sorry I
Makes
missed
me.
that. Justin's sound went out, Pat, when he had started talking, so I missed everything.
Well, I'll reiterate, basically, in case his audio is
Yep,
bugging.
I
He
completely
basically said
lost
that when we were smoking it, he noticed that cross in the band, and we had seen a comment. And I'll kind of expand on it. We had seen a comment about it being a Genesis cigar, and I'd seen about as far as I'd seen was that it being the Genesis, the start with Luciano,
it.
and we had the assumption that it might have been a link to like Genesis 4:13, a Bible verse. We read that verse. I was like, I don't know about that, and
Right.
so that's when we reached out to you and got the rest of the story. But our initial intrigue happened because we were on the show, and I guess I'd seen it, but it hadn't really clicked. And Justin was like, "Dude, do you see this cross that's in here? There's got to be some more symbolism to it."
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
why we reached out. Was like, man, I need to know what the story is, and had no idea that it was going to be such a powerful legacy behind that the banding and the design for that specific cigar. And it's Justin's lost his father, so have I, and many people watching this have, and so having the ability
Absolutely.
to make a legacy like
Yeah.
that with your product is, there's some weight behind that, and I love it and appreciate it. But
Thank you,
I'm
it was
fella.
sure
basically
that
just, we
the
saw that and had to pretty much had to dig into it to learn more about that.
Jamon, can
probably
you?
helped you through the process too, didn't it, Jamon? Kind of just doing
Yeah,
that for your mother and just was probably healing for you in some ways,
100%.
right?
I mean, absolutely. That's why I said what I said at the time. I was hopeful, and I was blessed to be able to realize that.
Right.
On the 1 year anniversary um, of her birthday, which is April 13th, one of the cigar lounges, I just showed up, and we had like a 413 day there. The customers were there, some of the regulars. You know how cigar lounges, they have the
Mm-hmm.
regulars. Everybody on that day went to the humidor and bought a gin for 413. I mean, a lounge of people and taking pictures, and people are sharing stories of their walk with loss, and we were there for each other by way of a cigar, and
It's an
Yeah.
emotional
the meaning
experience that
behind
you
it.
guys
So
get to have.
that was cool, and that still happens to this day. I'll go into a lounge or at an event, and somebody will walk up to the event table and says, "Hey, man, I'm looking for Mom's cigar," and you're
Oh
like,
man,
"Damn,"
that's
Love that.
awesome.
which is cool. And just real quick before we segue, sorry guys. Um,
No, you're good.
I was in Miami, Florida this past weekend, and at this event that I was at, a guy I've known him in passing. Um, he came and purchased some cigars, and he came and bought a gin 413, and he said, "Man, my mom traveled with me to this event this time, and because she's here, the weather's nice to be outside. I want to smoke this cigar with her." So I was like, "Damn, man, I had to walk off because
Yeah,
like
That'll hit you
Right.
in the chest.
that's it."
it's
And,
always a soft spot when you lose a parent.
That's great stuff though, man.
it
That's an
is.
awesome story. And what a great tribute to her.
Yeah.
Well, I will to give our man a break. I will change. There's two comments here that kind of link together. And this will be one of the last questions we ask of you, Jamon. You kind of tipped this a little bit. I'll
Cool.
show both of them. Nathan said, "What is one series you tend to smoke most frequently?" Followed by Gil, who said, "If you were unable to smoke your cigars, what, if anything, would you smoke?"
Yeah, two good questions. I'm similar to Chad, and I'm blessed that I am. Is that I am a mood smoker when it's just about smoking cigars. So for me, um, I tend to be in the mood that I am. If I happen to, um, do an espresso, I'll lean towards my Connecticut, and sometimes just black coffee. Sometimes I just want to start my morning with a gin 413. Um, some some days I just want to smoke nothing but the five años. So I'm a mood smoker in that way, depending on kind of where I'm at and what's going on in my day, and what priorities or challenges I have. To answer the second question, if I wasn't smoking my own, I am a huge fan of what Padron does with tobacco. I appreciate the cigars, do not get me wrong, but to be able to meet the demand that they have to meet, and the way that they have the ability to ferment tobacco and put it on the shelves, and you never have to worry about tasting young tobacco or this or
Yeah.
that. It is
100%.
a phenomenal thing, and it's something that I am a huge fan of, just the company and what they do with tobacco. I'm a fan of the um, Ashton ESG, the state
Mm. Now you're
cigar.
speaking my language, Jamal.
I
Yep,
really,
yep.
really enjoy that cigar in the Corona size. It is a really cool take on Dominican tobacco. And then, as I said, I'm a Tatuaje fan and some of the stuff
Mhm.
that they do. But man, there are so many phenomenal cigars out there. You know, people are doing really cool stuff with tobacco, and I think Chad, you made the point, or maybe it was yourself, Pat. You guys had a prior guest that talked about these younger brands now that are now kind of forcing some of the legacy brands to share some of um, the the
The
blend
details and the
of
info,
of
yeah.
Details of the
Components,
blend.
yeah.
the paper, the binder and filler, the stats of the cigar now,
The
and
nerdy
while
stuff.
doing so, it's forced them to kind of make sure that, hey, we can't slip up on a production um,
Mhm.
of this, because you want to know what, these smokers are now educated now, and they will move on down that line to someone or something that they know is going to be consistent, man.
That was Henderson's point too.
Yeah.
He said that there's no dumb cigar smokers in the community anymore because boutique brands have educated everyone. So,
Yeah, and Chad, we're the guys, because we only have that one shot in some
yep.
cases, right? So when a person who's kind of on the fence of wanting to try this young brand, they want to know about it, and so they do find out about it, they like it, and then when they come back to a legacy brand that they've smoked for years and years and years, now they're asking the question, well, hey, I smoked this company, and why don't you guys do this, or why ain't this being shared? So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. I.e. Padron, right? Like they don't tell you anything. But
and
to
they
your
don't got
point, I agree.
Yeah, they don't have to.
I've
No, yeah.
never had a bad Padron.
Mm-mm.
Same.
Not once.
Yep. Facts.
I
Even they're
For
more
sure.
budget friendly, like the Padron 3000.
Oh
Those
my
are
gosh.
phenomenal.
You won't
But
find better $7, $8 cigars than
exactly,
those.
especially if you
right.
age them. Oh man, if you
Gosh.
age a 3000 or one of those series, those are so good.
Put them
And
away for about 4 years and they're insanely good.
Yeah.
and we appreciate where the boutique guys and the younger guys pushing that info, because you're battling the fight against these legacies like we're talking about. I know Padron's going to be good without going into it because they've been around for so long. You're
100%.
generations in versus somebody like
Yep.
Definition. You're coming in, later in life, in cigar
Correct.
life, and if I've never heard of you, I've never seen your name, and I see this band on the shelf, I'm like, what is it about this cigar that's going to pull me versus buying a cigar that the whole industry already knows? And so you
100%.
almost have to push something out there to get the attention because there's so many products out there now,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
some of it is a retail mandate almost, but it's also, like you said, people are educated now. We want to learn more, even if I don't know everything about tobacco and I don't know nothing about these farms and regions, but I still want to know the info because we're an info driven society.
Yep.
And social media is just pushing that even more. Like this, we're pushing this info out where people aren't having to go look at it. You can Google something within 2.5 seconds, so information driven knowledge is key, and it makes us drive to that. So you putting that info out, and you don't have to give me the recipe of your blend. I don't want that. I don't want somebody to steal your
Right.
blend, but you can still tell us what's in it.
Absolutely. And Pat, one of the things that I've noticed over the past 7 years in terms of cigar smokers is that Big Smoke used to be all the rave, and not that it's bad. I'm not shaming Big Smoke or anything like that. So just
Right,
walk with
right.
me. It's a fun time. It's a fun time. But what I've seen over the past 7 years is that customers are now saying, well, if I can afford to do both, I will. But more customers, I mean, and over the past 2 years, it's really, really been an uptick. They are now saving their money and they're coming to PCA. So yes, they can't walk the showroom floor because that's for the retailers, but
Mm-hmm.
just being around the city or where they're having PCA, you're running into your who's who, the owner of this brand, the principals, the regional sales manager, and you're interfacing with these guys to have these specific types of conversations. And because people are now more educated, they're coming to PCA. Yeah, I can't walk the floor, but I can come to the events. I can come to
Yep.
the parties. Hey, I may run into the guys from the Holiday Cigar Lounge because I watched their show. I know that they're going to be there. People come there for that, and
It's
the
funny you say
education
that,
and the
Jamon.
conversation.
When I was there this year, I was having breakfast and I looked over, and next to me was Lito Gomez,
Yeah, yeah,
literally at the table next to me. And I did
100.
not, I let him be because he was, doing his thing.
Well,
But that's
it's
your
it's a
point. It's like,
it's a personal connection. I was literally, me and my wife Ellen had this conversation. She's got me going to, we've been going to Vegas, last few years just to kind of get away. And I was literally in Vegas with no plans the day of the big smoke, and we heavily contemplated paying the ticket and going. And I had the conversation. I was like, man, I can either go to Big Smoke tomorrow, or for the same amount of money, time, and effort, I can go, this is what happened. I can go to NFG and Cigar Fest at CI, and I couldn't go in person. Did the virtual session at Great Smoke, which that one, the virtual session, you don't get the camaraderie part. But I was like, man, I could go to multiple events where I can see people, talk to people, have
Yep,
conversation, because versus doing something like that, because it's just a different vibe. So I personally did the exact same thing,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But the cigars and products are great. The camaraderie is probably even better, no matter what. Because I'm gonna say this lightly, don't kill me, Chad, but I would rather have a very shitty cigar with some friends and somebody I can talk to versus a great cigar by myself, which we all do. There's times for that, but if
Sure, sure. No,
those are my two options,
yeah,
I would take that, because the conversation and the bonding that you can get over these products, which we all talk about, is
100%.
paramount.
who's this last comment here?
He said, looking forward to seeing the Definition crew and NFG 26 in a few months.
That's Chris. He's like you guys. It's Chris Coulter. He's at NFG. No
Okay.
fucks given all through
One
and
of your guys? You know him,
yeah.
huh?
He's been there from the beginning, man, supporting the
Yeah,
brand.
he's in the underground group.
Yep. He said, need some
Oh,
more
right on.
equalizers.
Yep.
One of my favorite poker night cigars. That's what's up.
Right on.
Well, Jamon, we do the live shows a little bit longer than we do our regular shows. But we do have to wrap up at some point, because people gotta be adults and go do things.
Yep. Adult.
So adulting sucks. We hate it.
Boo.
But I know we all do, and it's not cliche. We appreciate you coming on. We've been talking
Yeah, no,
about
I
this,
thank you
scheduling
guys.
it for a little bit,
This is awesome.
and
Thank you guys for
I
having me.
we had some very solid questions come across today, which is fantastic, because you never know what people are going to be able to, if they're going to be able to watch the moment of or review later. So
Right.
great questions and great input from you.
Yeah.
Definitely got to learn a lot about Definition and you as a person, where you started, where you came from, and some of the legacy you've put into it. And it's adds to that story that we like. So appreciate
Yeah.
you for coming on and spending that time with us, man.
No,
Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
guys, I'm so, and I'm sorry, Justin. I can't hear you. I know you're probably talking still, but I don't take these things for granted, these opportunities. So thank you guys for inviting me on to your viewership and being able to tell my story now to somebody who, Pat, like yourself, may have been walking past that garter looking band and like, I don't know what it is. Maybe they'll give it a try this
Right.
time. They'll like it. So appreciate it, fellas. Thank
Yeah,
you.
what an absolute pleasure it's been, man. So
Absolutely. Well, everybody watching the show, or if you're coming in late, our routine has become, if you missed the live show, you'll be able to review it for a day or two, and then I will re-edit, clean up the beginning, and we'll repost the whole episode, and you can watch it from start to finish and see everything you missed. So that's what we're going to do, and we'll be around. Just if you haven't, subscribe, like, get the notifications. You'll see when we post stuff every, we try to aim for every, week or two, putting out something to you. You never know what we're going to bring back on. And if y'all have any comments, suggestions, you can put those comments on the show, or you can always email us at thehollowdown@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. But until then, y'all out there, you know the drill. Stay safe and hollow down.
Hit that like button right there.
I was gonna say, get your Cigars for Warriors in.
Yes. We love Cigars for Warriors. So appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one.